June 2001, shortwave radio host Bill Cooper broadcasted a warning to his listeners.
And now we're being bombarded with messages that Osama bin Laden is planning to attack the United States of America. And I'm telling you, be prepared for a major attack. But it won't be Osama bin Laden, it will be those behind the New World Order.
3 months later, every part of that prediction came true.
Oh, shit! Oh my God.
Mom, another plane just crashed into other World Trade Center.
The building's exploding right now. You got people running up the street.
Only 5 weeks after that, Bill Cooper was shot dead outside of his Arizona home. A few years later, something similar happened to Francis Boyle, the law professor who personally drafted America's Biological Anti-Terrorism Act and spent years publicly accusing powerful institutions of engineering a pandemic, when he suddenly died at the age of 74. No cause of death was ever disclosed by his university, nor his family. Nobody has a clue what happened. The playbook is always the same. Someone gets too close to uncovering something, the case closes fast, the records thin out, and everyone moves on. And it's happening again. One of the cases is Amy Eskridge, a chemist and biologist graduate from UOA who went on to co-found the Institute for Exotic Science alongside her father, Richard Eskridge, a retired NASA plasma physics engineer. Their stated mission was to take secret or ignored science and bring it out into the public. In Amy's case specifically, it was anti-gravity, which to this day is the one missing piece to knowing how UAPs move. A few experiments were made and documented over the years, which then started getting great results in 2022. Sadly, most of the results weren't publicly shared. As she stated, she required formal authorization from NASA. And that's when something shifted. Amy suddenly began expressing extreme fear and started sending out messages to friends saying that she believed that her life was in danger and that something was closing in on her.
I found out that I was being physically surveilled by the following method. My ex and I realized that people had been breaking into our apartment while we were gone together in the same vehicle. And so I'm in the apartment, I'm about to go to work, and I'm like, why don't you take out the trash and scope out the parking lot and make sure it's okay before I go to work? So he goes out there and he's like, there's this weird fucking Lexus. It's like a silver Lexus. This is a shitty apartment. Why is there really nice Lexus in the parking lot? And it has tinted windows that are not street legal. And so he comes back in and we're standing in our bedroom window looking at the Lexus and talking about it. And I say out loud, maybe we should walk over there later and take a picture of the license plate. Within 2 minutes, an Eastern European looking motherfucker walked out of the apartment directly across from ours holding a license plate. And he opened the trunk of the Lexus and he took out some tools and he changed the license plate right in front of our fucking faces. And then he walked back to his apartment and he put the old license plate on the front patio. And it was literally like, come get the license plate. I have more where this came from. And then after that, the Lexus started tailing me. And every time I saw the Lexus, it had a different license plate. I'm scared. I'm tired.
On June 11th, 2022, only a few weeks after that expressed fear, Amy Eskridge was found dead in Huntsville, Alabama. The official ruling stated that it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Yet, rather than seeking answers, her father went straight to the press, dismissing every theory of foul play with the words, "Scientists die also, just like other people. Case closed." Except no public investigative report was ever released, not from the police and neither from the medical examiner. But that wasn't all. After Amy's death, the Institute for Exotic Sciences website was taken offline and never brought back up. Her research, including the gravity modification experiments, the planned presentations, and the worksheet built with her father, vanished overnight. Amy Eskridge is now listed as the 11th name on an unofficial roster of scientists with ties to classified government research who have died or disappeared under unusual circumstances. And on that same list is another name, and what makes his story different from every other is that for once, the target told us exactly what was coming. Nikolai Mushegian, a son of two Soviet immigrant scientists who by the age of 29 had already built the foundational infrastructure of decentralized finance, including the DAI stablecoin, wrapped Ether, and the Balancer protocol. He identified and silently patched the exact same vulnerability inside MakerDAO's code that later destroyed the DAO in one of the most catastrophic hacks in crypto history. His co-founder put it painfully afterwards. Maker would have been toast without him. Nikolai was by any honest measure irreplaceable. And then came 2022, where he was building something new, something he called RICO, a truly decentralized stablecoin with no central authority, no compromise, and no government backdoor. A system specifically designed to operate beyond the reach of central banking. He believed this was what DeFi was always supposed to be. He also believed that building it had made him a target, and he wasn't subtle about it either, as he began posting his suspicion in August 2020. On August 5th, a veiled reference to assassination. On September 4th, 3 explicit futures. Suicide by CIA brain damage slave asset, worst nightmare of people who fucked with me. Those posts got hundreds of likes, and then came October 28. His final message. CIA and Mossad and pedo elite are running some kind of sex trafficking and trap and blackmail ring out of Puerto Rico and Caribbean islands. They are going to frame me with a laptop planted by my ex-girlfriend, who was a spy. They will torture me to death. Posted at approximately 4 a.m. 4 hours and 18 minutes later, his body was found on Ashford Beach in San Juan. He went for an early morning swim and was dragged out by a powerful undercurrent at Condado Beach. Quite plausible, except Nikolai was found fully clothed, wallet still in his pocket, a small but unexplained laceration on his skull, and the formal autopsy 3 years later, and it's still not officially completed or publicly released. The cause of death remains technically unresolved. And crypto Twitter sees it the same way, with Armin Soleimani, co-founder of Reflexer, a project Nikolai helped build, stating publicly and repeatedly that this was not an accident. And even analyst Dylan Leclerc posting a thread stating that the truth deserves to be made public. Here was a man who built the architecture of decentralized money, who was constructing a currency designed to operate beyond government control, who predicted with specific documented detail how he would be killed, who then turned up dead, clothed, wallet in pocket, skull lacerated, in the exact territory he named. 20 plus defense scientists dead across 6 years, drownings, apparent suicides, freak accidents, and each individual file was clean enough to close it on its own, except for one that left too many questions open for it to be a coincidence. Nuno Loureiro, a physicist with decades worth of experience that researched plasma behavior in fusion reactors, which determines whether clean unlimited nuclear energy ever becomes a reality. And in 2024, he was appointed a new role, the director of MIT's Plasma Science and Fusion Center, the most important fusion research center in the United States. Shortly after that, he made a clear statement at the PSFC conference. If we do something new, or if we keep doing what we are doing, let it be for the reason that we can be the best. Which made one thing very clear. If you wanted to control the future of American fusion science, you would need to remove Nuno Loureiro. And it didn't take long for this to become a reality. On December 15th, 2025, Nuno Loureiro was shot outside of his Massachusetts residence and died the following morning. The suspect was identified as Claudio Manuel Neves, who was simultaneously the same suspect in a mass shooting at Brown University, another elite research institution, on the exact same day. And before he could be questioned, he took his own life. Maybe it's all coincidence. Maybe 3 irreplaceable scientists all died under suspicious circumstances in the same period and it means nothing. Maybe we are seeing patterns in noise. Or maybe when you lay Amy, Nikolai and Nunu side by side, you're seeing groundbreaking innovations that were never supposed to become public.